Welcome to this 500k funding series starting with just $50. So in the past week, I have made 3% profit in my 5k phase 1 account. My trading strategy is very simple. It is not some fancy ICT or SMC. I just trade with simple price action, combining it with order flow and level 2 data. So in this video, I'll break down all my trades for the week and how I use order flow to increase my edge. I have been getting a ton of requests to make a dedicated video on footprint and order flow. So if you're interested, please comment the word order flow to let me know how many people are interested. So with that being said, let's start breaking down the trades. Let's start off with Monday. This is the only trade I took on Monday. It was bounce play sells from this H4 key level, as you guys can see here. Looking at this candlestick chart, you could say this is a very aggressive entry because there was only a single rejection wick from this H4 key level, and also I entered before the candle closed. But if you look at the order flow chart, you could see that the current session's POC was at 52.57, as you guys can see here, and buyers became really aggressive to break. There was a lot of aggressive buying above the POC, and also there was a big buyer coming right at the POC. Despite all these buying effort, price failed and started to flip and go bearish with all these trapped buyers, which is a really good sign of a reversal. I closed the trade for 1.5 risk to reward, little bit above TP because price was moving very quick and it was very volatile, and I closed the trade because I saw a big seller step in right here at the bottom, but price giving us a quick push up, which is a big red flag if you are a seller. But after that, price did not stop dropping and we literally caught the top of the move and price was just dropping for the whole session. So in this trade, I made around $60, risking around 0.8 to 1%, which is $40 to $50. This was the first trade I took on Tuesday. It was bounce play sells from this H4 key level, as you guys can see. And I took this trade because I saw a ton of buying volume and buying interest stepping above this H4 resistance, but ultimately those buyers got trapped and price started to go bearish. But sadly, this trade did not end up playing out and price hit my stop loss within 10 minutes after rejecting this minor support. I could have closed this trade at break even because there was absorption of sellers and lack of continuation, and in the next candle also sellers were aggressive at this area, but there was no continuation and price started to flip. But it is what it is, and I lost $80 in this trade, risking about 2% of my account. This was the second trade of the day and it was break and retest buys from this H4 key level, and it was the same area of value. I got stopped out in the last trade and I entered this trade because there was a lot of selling pressure coming in at the bottom trying to break below this H4 support, but ultimately those sellers got trapped and price started to flip with aggressive buyers coming in at the top, which is a good reversal sign. I moved my stops to break even when price went past this 1-to-1 risk to reward mark, but price ended up stopping me at break even. So overall on Tuesday it was a losing day for me and I lost 1.6%. Wednesday was the worst trading day. I lost 4.6% on this single day. I took total of 3 trades and I lost 2.6% on the second trade and I lost 2% on the third trade. But it was purely because of my emotions, and I did revenge trade and started chasing the trades which were not present, and I paid for those mistakes with a big fat L of 4.6%. This was the first trade on Friday and it was bounce play sells from this H1 resistance, and I took this trade because I saw a lot of aggressive buyers coming at the top trying to break above this resistance, but they got absorbed and price started to flip with aggressive sellers coming at the bottom of this candle. But I closed the trade manually for the half the risk because there was no continuation of this aggressive sellers and I wanted to see a big break under this volume cluster, and that did not happen and the selling strength was very weak and price started to flip and go bullish. Within few minutes, price flew through my SL. I managed to exit this trade for a small loss of $25. This was the second trade of the day and it was kind of a breakout trade from this H1 resistance, and I took this trade because there was ton of buying activity above this resistance range, and also there was reward with price closing above this resistance, and also there was continuation of this aggressive buyers coming in right here. I closed the trade little bit above TP1 for 1 to 3 risk to reward, and I made $150 in this trade, risking about $50. This is the P&L summary for this trading week, and I have lost 3% for the week with the biggest losing day of 4.6% on Wednesday. This is the dashboard of funding pips, and you can see the swings in the P&L of this account. If you're still watching this video, I think you are really serious with trading and I want to help as many serious traders as possible. So let me know in the comments what kind of content you would like to see in the future videos, and also if there are any suggestions, please let me know in the comment box, and thank you for watching this video.